Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. Today we are doing a pick a card tarot reading. We have 3 piles to pick from. You can pick more than one if you feel guided to, or just one. It's totally up to you, boo. You do you, as I like to say. We have 3 piles. We have She-Wolf, Unleash the World Within, Father Sky, Trust in the Unknown, and then we have Earth, Guardian, Stay Rooted and Grounded. I want to say as well, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. This is my new YouTube, my new YouTube channel. My other channel is kind of a bit stuck and messed up at the moment. So if you can, please subscribe and show your girl some love. So let's move into the reading and see what's happening. So pile number 1, pile number 2 and pile number 3. And then I'm going to pull some extra cards to see if there's any other messages that are coming in. Let's see what's happening for pile number 1. She-Wolf, Unleash the World Within. I think that speaks for itself very well, I'm not going to lie. I feel like this week for pile number 1, I'm kind of getting... It's weird because I'm kind of getting the mixture of like that innocent inner child and also that that kind of that deep-rooted dark, and I don't mean dark in a sense of like negative or bad, but like the parts of yourself that you kind of avoid. I feel like they need to come out and dance, both of them. The innocence, the darkness, they need to come out and they need to play. And I think for this week going forward, just going forward in general in your life actually, kind of remembering these energies and embracing these energies will be life-changing for pile number 1. Unleash the world within. Because, you know, there's a lot of ourselves that we keep hidden. There's a lot of ourselves that we haven't even met yet, and usually that's due to social conditioning, conditions, just, you know, everything from the moment you come into this world. You were labelled with female, you get a name. You know, if you're female, there's a lot of stuff that comes with that. If you're male, there's a lot of stuff, just all the labels, everything that you've been told, all the parts of you that you were not allowed to be because you were too much, like, so you pack it away and hide it away because you don't ever want to be seen as too much or whatever. Like this week, let it all out. Like, go inward, dig deep, find these parts of yourself and bring them to the light. You're not meant to hide these parts of yourself away. This is you, right? And if you're being true to you, then you'll know that there's a yin and there's a yang. There's a light and there's a dark, and we all have both. And we're not meant to embrace one and not the other. You're meant to harness both and bring yourself to the world. And that's where your power lies, in being in balance with both energies. So I always encourage people to go into these areas and to explore who they are and to heal whatever needs to be healed, and to just bring these versions that you keep hidden out of fear or, you know, whatever it is, just bring them to the light. It's time. And also when I see like this kind of image of like a wolf howling to the moon, I always think of like calling in your tribe, or calling in or aligning yourself with your purpose. I always feel like there's a call to something, like you're calling to something. And usually for me personally, it means like you're calling in your soul tribe, or you're calling out to like to align yourself. Like you're calling, I don't know how to explain it. Like if you're calling out, you're also calling in, you know? So it's like whatever call you're making is always going to come back in it. So whatever you're calling out to, be clear about what you're calling out for. But I do see also like tribe members and new relationships maybe. But these relationships only really come in when you're authentic. Like you can't expect to meet a soul tribe member if you're not being true to you, because soul tribe members vibrate on your same frequency. So if you want to call in your soul tribe, then you will have to be authentic to yourself, and you will have to show up as you are, whether you think you're too much or not. Like, get used to it, get used to feeling those things, because I'm going to tell you, you're not too much. There's no such thing as too much. Yeah, when it comes to humans and stuff, there's like, you are you, and you were made divinely you. So be you, boo. Okay. Let's see what else is happening for pile number 1. Any more messages for pile number 1? Too many cards, so sorry. One more card for pile number 1. Is that going to stay? No, it's probably not going to stay, but hey ho. I definitely can pick up on relationships here, pile number 1. I feel like you're moving on from... the relationships that you've outgrown, and you are trying to call in maybe like your soul tribe. I do feel like the calling is... it feels very much relationship based. And when I look at like this temperance energy here, like I look at the 2 of Cups, I always notice the 2 of Cups, like in the balance. And that, you know, sometimes you have to like walk away from certain relationships to like clear the path for new relationships to come forward. And with this magician energy as well, not only do you need to remind yourself that you're the alchemist and you can create whatever you want to create and manifest whatever you want to manifest, it's almost like you have everything you need. You are everything that you need to be. It's almost like you just need to, like I was saying before, like just embrace those parts of yourself that you've been told that were not good enough, or you know those parts, right? Those parts that we just hide. I don't know any other way to put it. Like the parts that you hide, the parts that you suppress, like those parts of you are very important, and they're a very important piece to your puzzle. And if you feel that in your life, like there's been a lot of like stagnancy or blockages and all kinds of madness around like relationships, or if you're trying to manifest something and you can't manifest it, it's probably because you're not really stepping into your true version of who you are. And again, like if anything to be taken away from this reading, like the more important thing for me from this reading is always going to be about self-development. So I'm always going to encourage you to go off and to find those parts of yourself and to put that piece of the puzzle in its place and then bring yourself forward. Because when you're true to who you are and you embrace everything that you are, light, dark, whatever, like when you merge that and you bring the balance, all you're going to manifest then is everything that you've ever wanted, because everything you've ever wanted already exists. So it's a matter of just really kind of stepping into who you are and letting that vibration like ring out loud. Like let the bells freaking ring, okay? Like I've arrived. This is my vibration, and I attract whatever I want to attract because my vibration is my vibration. I feel like with this temperance energy, I was just trying to make it make sense, but this temperance energy, what I'm really drawn to in this, let me try and show you if I can pick it up, is, remember I was just saying that the pathway is clear. Like, the pathway is literally clear. Like, she's got to take a moment to find the balance. And when I see like the Two of Cups, that's for me. A lot of people see it as like soulmate or twin flame and whatever else. But for me, first and foremost, it's always going to be about your own divine balance between the masculine and the feminine. The light and the dark. You know, so it's like finding that balance, bringing... I feel like I'm just repeating myself. And I get frustrated when I do that, because it doesn't matter why. But sometimes we need to hear things. You know, we might hear things 1,000 times and we don't get it. But it takes that 1,001 time. And then we might just get it, you know. So even though I find it frustrating to repeat myself, sometimes I realise that sometimes repeated patterns, like the cycle of that is like, you know how someone might listen to a guided meditation and they need that guidance. They need to keep hearing the same thing over and over again before like it sticks. It's almost like that. And I'm going to try and sum it up, okay? Again, is that this week, really focus on those parts of yourself that you hide and bring them to the light and step into your power and become who you came here to be. Because the moment that you do that, like this calling energy that you're doing, you're trying to manifest like soulmates and soul tribes and all this kind of fantastic energy and stuff. If you're having trouble manifesting that, it's because you're not being true to who you are. You're not the you that you came here to be. And you know, that requires a lot of shadow work sometimes, and meeting yourself in a very dark place, but knowing that you have your own back and that you're going to bring yourself to the light. Sometimes you've got to go through the dark to get to the light, and it only takes darkness to appreciate the light. You know, people don't understand the importance of darkness and a negative charge, and people focus on the positive and the light, but the truth is you can't have the light without the dark, and you can't have a positive charge without a negative charge. You need both. And I think that this week is really focused on you finding that balance within the positive. I don't want to say positive because it makes it sound really bad, but just that innocence, that light, that love, and the parts of yourself that you find it hard to love and all that. Just bring them to the table. Let's make let's mix it up and let's blend them energies together, because that's where your power really is. Those parts of yourself that you find hard to love, those parts of yourself that are too much to other people, all of that, that's where your power is. And sometimes people, you know, they get triggered by other people's power. So why you might think that, oh, I'm too much and I'm too this and I can't accept this about me and blah, blah, blah. That's where your power is, though. When you accept and embrace and really understand who the fuck you are, you'll realise that these parts of yourself that you try and suppress, that's where your power is. Think about it. Like, anything that's powerful is a potential threat to people. So, you know, like, throughout your life, I'm sure, you know, parents, teachers, partners, whoever, I'm sure, have tried to influence you in saying, no, you know, you're too much, there's too much this, or not enough of this, and blah, 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 blah. That's their business, yeah? That's like, you being you is your responsibility. Them being scared of who you are because you might be too much, that's their business. Like, you embrace who you are and you rock up and be the you that you came here to be. Okay, pal number one? And I'm starting to get passionate. And I know that when I get passionate, being a Leo, that I can be taken wrong and aggressive. So before it gets to that, I want you to step into your power. And I want you to understand that you're a powerful being. All those parts of yourself that you find hard to love, that's where your power is. Accept everything that you are, good, bad, the ugly, whatever. Embrace it all, put it in one pot, mix it all together and bring yourself to the world, because the world freaking needs you, okay? And the moment that you do that, like all of this stuff that you're trying to manifest, the relationships, the connections and all that kind of stuff, it's going to just happen naturally. Because when you're in your vibration, your vibration will harmonize with other people's vibrations. And when you get like harmony, like, you know, when you listen to like choirs or music and people singing, you notice that when they sing all at the same like tone or vibration, it vibrates louder, and it expands and it gets bigger and louder. Trust me. Pile number 1, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know if that resonates for you in the comment section below. And I hope to catch you guys in my next video. Let's see. Sorry, let me just mix up these cards for pile number 2. Starting to feel very congested. Sometimes that happens when I do readings. I don't know why. Okay, let's see what's happening for pile number 2. Pile number 2, you have Father Sky, trust in the unknown. And you know what's really crazy is because when you look at this image, okay, and you look at this guy, you know, white hair represents wisdom, okay? So this already tells you that this guy knows something. So even though it's kind of, to me, this is why sometimes I don't really like to pay attention to what's written, because the symbol of other things means something totally different. So, okay, you have like the eagle here spreading their wings and their, you know, for me though, you know, like when I see wings spread like that, I mean, yeah, it means freedom, but it also means you're able to fly above the crap and like see things in a whole new light. But then with this guy with his white hair and stuff, white hair to me, and I know for a lot of other people, represents wisdom. So it's almost like, yeah, trust in the unknown. But I feel like it's only unknown because you're not conscious of it yet. I feel like subconsciously you know. You already know. And I know you know. Because this guy's here with his wisdom. So I know you know on a subconscious level, but maybe it's about bringing that to the conscious. I also feel as well that, you know, breaking out of the norm or breaking out of whatever situation that you're in, and when it comes to like trusting the unknown, it's going to be difficult. And I feel like for most people it's difficult, but for some reason I'm picking up for pole number 2 that it's going to be extra difficult for you, because I feel that maybe for you guys, you know, you're always in the driver's seat. Maybe you always have some kind of charge, but be in charge, but the reality of the situation is you can't rule everything. Like you can't be in charge of like other people's destinies, or you can't be in charge like of others. Like you can only have control really over yourself. I feel like for pole number 2 as well, there's going to be a lot of stuff around communication for you, that maybe your communication skills at the moment, maybe it's not really what you say, it's how you say it, and how you say it seems to be triggering a hell of a lot of people. And you know, I'm really big on taking responsibility for yourself, but if everybody's getting triggered by what you're saying, it might not be what you're saying, it might be how you're saying it. So if your approach is off, then people are going to get triggered. So as much as we can say like how people take you is none of your business, at the end of the day it would be stupid of you not to look at yourself in the mirror and say, what am I saying? Why are people getting triggered by me? That's normal. That's what normal wise people do, okay? Is they question themselves. And you know, it's not a matter of like insecurity, it's a matter of just knowing that, okay, like I've noticed that I'm triggering a hell of a lot of people at the moment. What's the pattern? What's happening? What am I saying? Is it what I'm saying, or is it how I'm saying it? So I feel like communication for you guys at the moment will probably be like kind of, it feels difficult to communicate for you guys at the moment. What is happening with these cards? These cards are like, hold on a second, girl. Let's see what else is coming in for pile number 2. It's crazy, do you know? I'm going to point something out in a second. What else is happening for pile number 2? One more card for pile number 2. Let me try and do this so that we can... Oh no, his head's cut off. I want to try and do it so we can see. Oh, I don't have much space on this table. Right. So the reason why I kind of giggled is because in this energy I saw the Tower, okay, and then we have the Tower. So, you know, trust in the unknown. Please stay up there. Let me take this guy off. Maybe it will stay up there then. There you go. So nobody likes change, okay? I mean, well, some people do. I like change. I like to constantly be in motion. Well, not necessarily like physical motion, but I like to be forever expanding, forever changing, forever, because we change every second of every, like, I'm not the same person I was 5 minutes ago. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, like, you can't always be the same person because you grow. Everything that happens every minute of every day helps you grow. So I feel like you have no control over this situation, and I think that scares you, and that's fine. It's good to be scared, but are you just going to keep being scared, or are you going to work on what's actually scaring you? Are you going to get to the root cause of what this fear is around being in control and having to be in control? Because I know that this Queen of Pentacles here is asking you to really take note of what's happening. Like, what's the core, what's the root cause of this fear, or this feeling of having to be in control of everything? Even like when it comes to like how people may see you, you know, like around the communication stuff that I was talking about. You know, like, you might want people to see you in a certain way, but people are going to see you how they're going to see you. And if you're trying to control how people see you, that's manipulation. And all that's going to do is backfire in your face. Because when you actually look up what manipulation actually means, like, why would you want to do that to anybody? Why would you even want to do that to yourself? That's kind of like, I'm not going to get into that, but yeah. Communication is definitely, I'm really picking up on communication for you guys, is really going to be something that you're going to have to work on this week. And I don't necessarily mean, I feel like it's getting to the root cause of why you want people to see you in a certain way, or why people are responding to you in the way that they're responding to you. And like I said, we can have that throwaway attitude of, well, how people respond to me is none of my business. Technically, no, it's not none of your business, but you would be really silly if you didn't say, okay, look, I'm affecting, or I'm triggering a lot of people right now. What is happening? Why? What am I doing? Or whatever, you know? Even if you're doing nothing wrong, like a wise person will always ask them questions. I feel like with this Fool energy as well, and I know usually like in a textbook, like this energy represents like taking a leap of faith, and it goes very well with trust in the unknown, right? Because this guy is full of trust. He just jumps and he just knows that no matter what happens, he's going to end up okay. But I also get this sense of like arrogance, and I know I'm probably going to trigger people with this stuff, but when it comes to communication, it's almost like he's got his nose up in the air, as if to say, like, I know better than whatever, you know. Like, there's just this sense of arrogance. And I know, again, before people start getting their dicks and tits in their fucking twist, that the textbook says that the Fool represents a leap of faith and trust and belief and all this kind of stuff. But I'm an intuitive reader. I look at what comes up, and all I'm seeing when it comes to the Fool is his nose turned up. And when you see someone turn their nose up, what's your automatic feeling, right? You're going to go, well, you're a bit stuck up, aren't you? You know, a judgment. And we shouldn't judge people, but judgment is a human trait. and we're human. It's going to happen. But, you know, are you judging people because you think you're better, or are you making just a judge, like, you know, like when you're in a situation where your instinct is to make a judgment, or are you just judging people because, like, you're just a judgy person? And I feel like this Four of Swords is like saying, chill. just chill for a second. Just take a moment. Just breathe. Just chill. Just get into that energy of like flow. Stop trying to be in control, because you know what happens when we try to control everything? We end up like this Four of Swords. We end up in a situation that we have no control over. So as much as you might trying to be trying to gain control and continue to be controlling in certain areas or whatever, like, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to have no control, because the more you control, the less control you're actually going to have. That sounds kind of jacked up, but trust me, when it comes to like certain things, especially if you're like stubborn, and with this Tower energy, like, I can definitely pick up on like that stubborn energy, and that I'm staying put. Listen, when a Tower strikes, you ain't going to have no choice but to sit down and pay attention to what's happening. And the more resistance you put up against this Tower energy, the more harder it's going to be for you. And this Queen of Pentacles, again, I'm going to go back to her, because all she wants you to do is she wants you to just take a moment. She wants you to pay attention, and she wants you to get to the root cause of why. And what can you do to make this situation better for yourself? Forget everybody else for a second. Like, why are you feeling the way that you're feeling? Why is there communication issues? Why do you need to be in control? Why do you need to have people see you in a certain way? So I'm going to try and like bring it back to like the word in here, okay? So we have trust in the unknown. We have the Four here, the Tower, and the Four of Swords. And this can kind of, let me try and translate it. Hold on a second. It's hard because it all comes back to this control. Trust in the unknown. But how can you trust in the unknown if you're trying to run how things go? And again, this Tower energy, I was really trying to like make it, you know, like word for word trust. Listen, yeah, you do need to trust in the unknown. You do need to be able to believe in yourself, and to know that no matter what happens, like, you're always going to end up okay. You take that leap of faith, like this Fool energy usually represents. You're going to land, whether you land on your feet or on your back, or you face plant the floor, like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And the more resistance you put up against this Tower energy, the more you're going to end up like this guy. And the more you're going to kind of end up on your back, and you're going to be immobile. You want to be able to like go with it and flow with it. And okay, like, you know, you might get like kick up the arse, and your life is probably going to change it. Like your life is probably going through like a major change at the moment. But the more you try and like rein it in and contain it, and like the more it's just going to be like this. The more you kind of like let go and get into that energy of like trust and faith and belief, and that Full energy and the trust in the unknown, the more at ease things are going to be for you. Pile number 2, I'm going to leave it there for you. Let me know if that resonates in the comment section below. And I hope to catch you guys in my next video. Let's see what's happening for pile. Number 3. Earth Guardians. Stay grounded. Oh, sorry, stay rooted and grounded. It's easy for me to say the energy that I'm picking up on is that everything for pole number 3 might feel up in the air. But if everything's up in the air, I want to say just spread your wings and learn how to fly then, you know, like if everything's up in the air, like, you know, like when you look at like the Fool card, say, right, you know, he takes a leap of faith and he falls or whatever, like he's only going to learn what he needs to learn on that journey down, you know, he's not going to learn while he's standing on the edge of a cliff. He's only going to learn the lesson while he's falling. And I think that, like, although everything's up in the air for pile number 3, I really feel like you will only really understand what's happening the moment that you kind of like plant your feet back on the ground. And if we use this energy, you know, like using grounding techniques like qigong or meditation, or literally just getting out in nature barefoot and planting your feet on the floor. And I know in the UK it's freezing here, so that might not be the best idea, but hugging trees, being out in nature, gardening, whatever it is, like just ground yourself, like, you know, like a tree. I always try and look at the tree analogy, you know, like having your roots well rooted and your branches reaching up to the sky, and knowing that when your roots are very deep rooted, there's nothing and no one that's going to be able to make you budge or uproot you, you know. I feel like for pole number 3 as well, you might be having a lot of like heart chakra activations or symptoms, so that could be maybe a lot of like pressure in the chest, maybe heart flutters, or just feeling like overwhelmed or even underwhelmed, right? Because it can go both ways, you know, depending on the individual. I feel like maybe your third eye chakra as well is kind of, I wouldn't say activated, because it's always kind of activated. It's just more so maybe you might be feeling like tension headaches around the third eye. Or maybe you might be trying to open the third eye. But here's the thing, don't force anything. You know, if your third eye's going to open, it's going to open. Like, you don't, I mean, we all have a third eye, which means that it's always there. The problem is, like, are you going to rub the shit out of the eye and see? Or, you know? But it's almost like, just don't force things. Just don't, because you might not be ready for what you see, you know? You might think you're ready, but you won't be ready. And coming from someone that's been like this from childhood, trust me, there's a lot of stuff that people think is so cool, but there's a lot of stuff that people ain't ready for. Trust that. Let's see what else is happening. Pile number 3. That's too many. We just want, how many more? We just want one more. All these cards keep coming out. We just want one more card for pile number 3. We like to keep things simple over here. Okay, the first energy that I'm really picking up on for pile number 3 is change, and dramatic change, especially around what you believe in. I kind of understand now why everything's up in the air, because with this tower energy, I think, did pile number 2 just get this as well? I think pile number 2 just got the tower too. That the reason why everything might feel up in the air is because, like, life is about to change for you in a good way. And the 6 of Swords energy is kind of telling me just to, like, go with the flow of it and not to resist this energy. And I think that the main source of the reason why everything feels so up in the air, because everything you've ever believed in is now being questioned by you. And the Wheel of Fortune as well was, sorry, I feel like all these cards are trying to talk to me at the same time, and it's like, like the Wheel of Fortune is kind of saying like the cycle, right? The wheel is always turning. The wheel doesn't stop, it's always turning, but it goes at its own pace. So for you, maybe, you know, maybe you've spent a year or two and things have been a bit of a struggle, or maybe you've been having a really good 2 years. Whatever it's been for the individual, like the wheel was always turning, and you're always going to experience, with everything in life, every experience that you have, there's always a lesson behind it. You don't go through what you go through just to go through it. The whole point in you going through and experiencing what you go through and stuff is because there's something towards, like, there's a lesson in it. And sometimes those lessons are hard lessons that we learn with this Tower energy here, you know, because if you're stubborn, and I get with, like, I think this is where are we, hyphen, it's Taurus energy, right? So it's like stubborn energy. So even though, like, you might be deep rooted in a certain thing, it's like something, how do I explain it? It's so difficult to explain certain things. I think the easiest way is just to take it back to what I said is there a better way to say it? Let me see if there's a better way for me to say it. No, there ain't. I'm just, whatever. Hair flick, whatever. I feel like everything that you've ever known or everything that you've ever believed in is changing because you're changing, and just everything is changing. That's why you feel so up in the air, because everything is changing. You've got literally the Tower here, you've got the Wheel of Fortune here, you've got my guy over here saying be grounded and rooted and whatever else, and the Hierophants over here like teaching, saying, you know, this is a very spiritual card, religious card even. So it's almost like no wonder you feel how you feel, pole number 3, because everything you've ever known and everything you've ever believed in is changing because you're changing. And the more you kind of resist this change in who you are and what you believe in, the more painful it's going to be. So I feel like this Six of Swords energy is moving on, but not moving on because they're leaving something behind, but just going with the flow, just going with the natural flow of life. Not necessarily making the journey harder, but just going, you know, getting in the boat and going with the tide, just letting it be what it needs to be. And I'm hearing as well that pole number 3, like, be rooted in yourself, be rooted in who you are, know who you are, learn who you are. And I think the reason maybe why this feels so enormous and so life-changing is because you know something about yourself. You know that, like, maybe it's like you've been living a lie all these years, you've been living a lie, and now like this certain part of you has been activated. And I mean, it's always been there. It's always been like, because you are always going to be who you are, but maybe this part of you has kind of like come to light, and it's kind of put like a boot in the works, and now everything's changed. Now everything's changed. It just feels like change for pole number 3. Just change. That's all I keep hearing is change. Ups and downs, in and outs, round and rounds, whatever. If you are in a situation where it just keeps going round and round in circles, like the Tower is just like, no honey, we're not doing that no more. We're not doing it. We're gonna get off like the roundabout, okay? We're not gonna keep going in circles. We're not doing that no more. That's not serving no one, because all we're doing is just repeating cycles, repeating patterns, and we're not doing that no more. So the Tower's just like, hey, hi, here's a kick up the arse. Sorry, not sorry. We need to like move on. We need to grow. We need to like understand some things now. We need to get out of this cycle. It's really crazy because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this this earth guardian, and he's holding his chest, right, which is his heart chakra, and it's almost like I can feel heartbreak. And I get it. Maybe some of you thought that, you know, you was going to get married to a certain person and that person kind of moved on and whatever else, and now your whole life's changed. But this earth guardian, like, he knows, she knows, he knows, like, because most angels, well, all angels, like, they're gender fluid in it. There's no, you know, anyway, a whole different topic that we're not going to get into. But, you know, this angel's like holding its heart, and it's almost like the sense of heartbreak, but also a sense of like knowing that, you know, this guy, he knows that, yeah, it's painful and it's a heartbreak, but he knows that what comes out of this heartbreak is going to be so much better, because he understands that, like, growth is never easy. Like, you don't grow by repeating cycles, right? You don't grow by being closed-minded, you know. You grow when you're open, and you grow through like heartbreaks, you grow through pain, you grow through all of these things that the tower can represent, right? Like, that's what helps you grow. Those things, the hard lessons, the heartbreaks, they're the things that help you grow. And maybe you didn't want it to end, but, you know, like, sometimes you don't understand it right now, but you will understand it at some point, that, you know, maybe this person did leave and they left and whatever else, but now it's giving you the opportunity to really, like, learn about who the frig you are, and what the hell you have to offer, and what you even want from relationships now. You know, maybe there was a part of this relationship, obviously it didn't work, but there's a part of that relationship for you that, you know, maybe now you know that maybe I don't want to put up with so and so, or I don't want to put up with this, and I don't want to put up what I want from a relationship is this. So although your heart may feel like it's been smashed into 1,000 pieces, now you get to, like, rebuild yourself exactly how you want to rebuild yourself. And, you know, your belief around relationships might change, or you might decide that you don't want to be in that kind of relationship no more. If you're done, your next partner has to be what he has to, or she has to be, and you're not going to settle for anything less than that. And sometimes you have to go through the heartbreak to realise what you are worth, okay? Because a lot of it does come back to self-worth. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it comes back to worth. It does. You will go through the heartbreak, but you'll know now what your worth is, because you're never going to go back to that unless you don't want to learn that lesson, and you don't want to know what your worth is, and you don't want to you know, grow through it, and you just want to keep repeating cycles, which is what I was saying earlier about this constant cycle that we live in. But it gets boring at a certain point, you know. Like, repeating cycles and then living the same story. Oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. These relationships that keep breaking your heart are your lesson. Like, these relationships are trying to show you what your worth is. These heartbreaking situations are trying to show you who you are. Like, you're not going through these heartbreaks and these situations and cycles and stuff just for fun and heartbreak. You're going through them because they're trying to show you something about yourself, trying to learn about who you are, and trying to show you what your worth is. So you know now that your next relationship, you're not going to settle for that same cycle. If people start showing you red flags, or you start getting into the same rhythms and rhymes and whatever else, you're going to know to say, okay, I know I'm worth more than this. I'm not going to settle for this relationship, and I'm just going to be content and wait for what I deserve. Because we all deserve happiness, okay? I'm just saying. Pole number 3. I don't know why it turned into relationships, but it did. Because he's holding his heart. I blame this guy, okay? He's holding his heart. I blame him. Life is changing for pole number 3. And it will be so much easier for you to feel what you need to feel. Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to learn a lesson. To understand that you didn't go through what you're going through just to go through it. You're going through it because you're being shown a valuable lesson around your self-worth. And things are going to change from here on out, because you know your worth. You're going to know if you don't feel like you know your worth now, you will know your worth. You'll know what you want and what you don't want, and you're not going to settle. You're not. Cycles get boring, trust me. Time to break the cycle. Pole number 3. I'll say before, like I was just about to wrap it up, but I will say this as well around like the heart chakra and the third eye chakra. When it comes to like the third eye chakra, don't force anything, just let it be. If it's activated, it's activated. It's going to open at its own pace. Don't force anything. When it comes to like your heart chakra and stuff, just allow yourself to feel hurt, allow yourself to feel love, just feel everything that you need to feel fully, you know. Even if you do meditations around like the heart chakra, even if you just sit there and take 5 minutes out of your day and you place your hands over your heart and you just feel your own heartbeat. Just breathe into that space, just feel that energy. You'll realise that you've got a lot of love within you and you have a lot of love to give, and you need to stop giving it to the wrong people and the wrong situations. Start giving it to yourself first and foremost. And once you're able to do that and you're in a good place with yourself, then it's almost like, okay, now I feel good in my heart space. Now I know I can give my best, or I'm not going to settle. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Let me know pole number 3 if that resonates for you in the comment section below. And I hope to catch you all in my next video. I love you guys. Bye.